Welcome in our economic panel. EJ Antony joins us, Senior Fellow at Unleashed Prosperity. Brandon Arnold's here, Executive VP at the National Taxpayers Union, and John Jordan here with us in studio, economist, attorney, and former Naval Intelligence Officer. Welcome to you all. EJ, I'd like to start with you. We're talking about AI here. The president's obviously focused on the matter, signing executive orders easing AI regulations. How could the president's commitment to winning the AI race actually impact businesses and workers here in America?
Well, one of the things that we've seen for several years now has been this effort by nearly all of government to impose crazy leftist ideology in the form of DEI, ESG. Throw together another set of three letters and you can probably get another one of their insane initiatives. But all of these things have really been like an anchor weighing down American innovation. They have burdened innovators and entrepreneurs with all of this crazy nonsense that has nothing to do with making people's lives better, making things more efficient, enhancing economic growth, et cetera. So by putting in executive orders that do away with all of that nonsense and a lot of other burdens, regulatory burdens as well, the president is really clearing the field for the innovators and for the entrepreneurs to advance AI and to make sure that America does win this arms race. And I don't use that phrase lightly, but this is the arms race of our generation, I think.
Yeah, Brandon, I mean, the president's announcement yesterday was being hailed as historic. And as soon as he made it, NVIDIA's stock rose. He wants to make sure that American technology in AI is the standard for the world going forward. What did you make of his historic announcement?
I think it's a big deal. You know, EJ talked about the regulatory changes that need to take place to open the door for more innovation, and those are enormous. That's the centerpiece of what Trump was talking about yesterday. But let's not look beyond the one big beautiful bill. Before this bill passed, we were effectively punishing our innovators by penalizing them through the tax code when they invest in research and development. Meanwhile, China was subsidizing research and development that takes place on Chinese soil. So we have wiped out that competitive disadvantage that China had. Now with these deregulatory measures, there's good reason why the stock market is responding the way it is, because this is big news and it's great for our innovators.
Speaking of, by the way, we're off to a little bit of a rocky start this morning as you were looking at the Dow there, down about 300 points just to start the day. It is early. And of course, this follows the latest trade deal announcement with Japan. President Trump sharing on Truth Social that Japan's going to invest, at my direction, $550 billion into the U.S. Will receive 90% of the profits. Japan will open their country to trade, including cars and trucks, rice, and certain other agricultural products. Japan will pay reciprocal tariffs to the United States of 15%. And we're awaiting more deals potentially to come through before the August 1st deadline. But, John, markets are reacting to something this morning here. Is it the visit to the Fed?
Yeah, markets are reacting. There's going to be some profit taking after a big run up like that. So that's not unusual. I don't think anything fundamental is happening here. What did happen yesterday is hugely important. 15% tariffs on imports from Japan, coupled with the deals from Indonesia, the Philippines, and the coming one from the EU, which is around the corner, and India. Did some back of the envelope math, and this comes up to about $225 billion a year in revenue for the U.S. Treasury. That's a little more than 10% of the federal deficit right there. When they scored the big, beautiful bill and said it's going to result in a sea of red ink, didn't account for any of this. When you start to close that federal deficit, real interest rates are going to start to come down as the federal government is competing less and less for capital and is crowding out to a much lesser degree borrowing. And that's going to bring interest rates down, mortgage rates down, and continue to provide rocket fuel for the Trump economy.
All right. EJ, Brandon, and John, thank you all for joining us today. Great insight, by the way. We're pressed for time, so we've got to move ahead to this. A federal judge